feelings or the relationship aspect. Because it's a mutual give and take action in the relationship. It should be complemented. We may understood that this particular relationship, if it has to sustain, either you make your communication proper. Look, this is the way you want to continue, this is the way I want to continue. I will not interfere in yours, you will not interfere in mine. Then the relationship will continue. Or if you are willing to change for the sake of her or him, if she is willing to change for the sake of you, then naturally there is a complementary give and take aspect of the relationship in the tangible things. So the relationship. This is a very important aspect that we should try to understand. So this is at the individual level, the relationship. Most of the time, the relationship between the children nowadays, within the children of modern generation and the parents, the relationship is getting more and more strained. Why? Because the parents of the elderly generation wanted to insist, wanted to enforce their ideas on the modern generation, which they won't like, because their environment, their society, their school, their college environment, everything is different. So you should not insist on the secondary or the tertiary aspects, but you should only give the basic guidelines or the principles to the children, so that they will not lose the basic character or the basic culture of an individual. And the parents also have got to be a little bit flexible with their children and more like friends than being an autocratic or dictating type of parent. So that is the reason why there is lot of stress amongst children nowadays, and they don't get along well with the parents, because the parents want to insist with lot of dictatorial way or autocratic way. They wanted to say that, oh, you don't know, I am so much aged, so what my experiences I am trying to tell you, you have to follow this, otherwise you will have a problem. This is on one side. But if the children follow that their friends and their peers or their classmates, he will be an odd man out, so he feels insulted there, so naturally he will be getting stressed. So that is the starting point of losing the relationship between the child and the parent or the children. Very important that there should be a basic principle that the parents should take and give them little bit of flexibility and be watching on their performance, where they are not losing the basic character or basic principles or basic aspects of the human life or humanity. Then there is no problem. Parents should not mind so much on the trivial things, and they should give them the flexibility to the children, so that they will not get stressed or they will not get upset. So this is very important. In the same way, the children also should try to respect the parents in the basic concepts and the basic philosophy or the basic aspects of the life, fundamentals of the life, they should not lose track of. But other minor trivial things, they can be of their own. This particular thing, nowadays it's a very, very predominant problem in the society between the parents and children. The parents think that nowadays children are all becoming arrogant and they are becoming egoistic and they are not. Whereas the children think these parents are outdated or not modern, and they are trying to insist too much on their own principles and lot of preaching sermons and trying to insist in their day-to-day life what to do and what not to do. That is not good education. You should tell them the basic principles, and we should allow the children to pick up from that and analyze what is good and what is bad, and then put it in practice, and so that the relationship between the parents and the children are smooth, and it's a two-way relationship, not a one-sided relationship, and it's more a friendly and properly communicating relationship with effective communication, so that there will not be any communication gap or any communication distortion, so that the relationship between the parents and the children are with the awareness that the relationship will change because of the time, because of the passion, because of the generation, because of the situation, and because of the environment. So all these things, both the parents and the children should be aware and then accept it. At the same time, don't lose the fundamental relationship. Don't lose the basic relationship, so that neither of them will be hurt. Neither of their relationship will be strained. It's very important. So, the relationship awareness we have seen between the parents and the children, and then of course same thing goes to the friends, and then it comes to the organization. So relationship awareness is in the organization plays a key role. So relationship awareness gives organizations and individuals the tools they need to build more effective and personal and professional. How do we do it? This is very important. It helps them to sustain those relationships through understanding and underlying motivational value systems of themselves. Not just when things are going well or when things are doing well, that anybody can maintain them, but also when there are things that's not going well, when the things are not properly going in the right direction, or when there is a conflict in the situation, how to manage that conflict. This is very important. One should be aware as how to deal with it. How? It helps people to recognize that they can choose their behavior to accommodate their underlying values. Be flexible. Don't be rigid. Choose proper words. Choose the right time to communicate. Choose right situation to explain as an actor. Choose to calm down your mind to listen. All taking into account the values of others. That's very important. We should respect the values of others. As you respect your own values, we should also respect the second and the third person, the others, the plurality of the values of others. It's very important. We should not, it's a very sensitive area, we should not hurt their values. Very important. It's a dynamic and powerful way of looking at human relationships that aids in building communication, trust, empathy, and effective, productive relationships. The relationship should be protected. It should be effective. When it will be productive and effective? Only when you have proper communication, when you have the patience, the tolerance to listen to others. At the same time, we should not allow others to override on us and make it work. In any relationship, there should be mutual trust. And there is a mutual empathizing. We should empathize others. As you empathize, he or she also should empathize. Then only the relationship will be effective and productive. Relationship awareness is founded basically on four simple but profound fundamentals. We all do what we do because we want to feel good about ourselves. It's the first and foremost thing. Every individual wants to show that he is good and he feels good about himself so that others feel good about ourselves. This is the first and the foremost. And the second thing is, we tend to take two different approaches in our general life. When we feel things are going well, we'll be very good. But when we feel that we are faced with opposition or conflict, then the real test of your relationship comes. Have you really maintained a good relationship? Or as long as you say goody goody, yes, 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 if you are an yes master only the relationship is maintained, then that is not a good relationship at all. You should be able to say no politely and explain why you do. And the other person should receive it. Then only the relationship will be properly bonded and it will be efficient and it will be effective and the productive relationship. The third is, the personal weakness is no more or no less than overdoing or misapplying of the personal strength. Either way, if a person is too weak and if the other person is trying to take all the advantage on his strong points and personal strength and try to dominate him or make him like a doormat, then the relationship will not be productive, will not be trustworthy, will not be effective, or will not be empathetic. So this particular aspect should be properly kept in mind with all the other. Every person has got his own strong and weak points. That doesn't mean that we should try to make fun of other person's weak points or his personal weakness, which will one day or other lead to strain the relationship and the effectiveness of the relationship will be gone. The fourth and the most important point is we naturally tend to perceive the behaviors of others through our own filter, our motivational values. This is very, very See, everybody has their own experience, everybody has their own analysis, everybody has their own mapping of their mind, depending upon their experience and depending upon their situations and depending upon their education and depending on their culture and depending upon the situations they have come across from that. So, we should try to find out what is it that is making this person to behave like this and trying to show his actions and reactions when there is a transaction between me and him. The first and the foremost thing is listen properly. Listen with patience, tolerance, and empathy. Listen. Once he finishes his speaking, then you ask him the question if you have not. Is it the way you wanted to communicate to me? Or have I understood you well? Or is it what you wanted to, the point, is it what the point that you wanted to focus so that I could understand properly? Ensure that you have understood that particular point properly. Once you have ensured, then you find out from him or her what is it that she wants from you. What is it that she is expecting from your relationship? Is it the guidance or the mentorship or the advice or just to listen because he or she is meant? So, if these four aspects are taken care of, then naturally the communication plays a vital role starting from. Once the communication is proper, you have listened to properly and you have also communicated properly without any distortion or gap, then the trust will develop in the relationship between one-to-many or one-to-one. Once the mutual trust has been reinforced and developed, then naturally, without telling anything, the empathy will be automatically there between each other. Once the communication, trust and empathy have been established, good, effective relationship will start growing. So, once it started growing, we should not stop. We should try to monitor the relationship. Then, the effectiveness can be monitored. Naturally, the productive relationship will be the ultimate goal